Hello, hello. Is my voice audible? Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's session in Azure Infrastructure and Networking. I'm excited to guide you through this fascinating journey into Azure's powerful cloud offerings. Azure Microsoft's cloud platform is more than just a suite of tools. It's a paradigm shift in how businesses operate. As we dive into the world of Azure, we'll uncover how its infrastructure and networking capabilities can revolutionize your operations, drive innovation, and enhance efficiency. Whether you are new to Azure or looking to deepen your understanding, today's session is designed to equip you with the knowledge and skills you need to harness the full potential of this platform. We'll explore the essential components of Azure, focusing on compute, networking, and storage services. These elements are the building blocks of any robust cloud strategy, and mastering them will set up for a success in the cloud era. But this isn't it just about theory. We are going hands-on throughout the presentation. I'll be demonstrating how to deploy and manage resources in Azure, giving you a practical understanding of how these services work in real-life scenarios. Are you ready to unlock the potential of cloud technology? Let's embark on this journey together and discover the opportunities that Azure has to offer. Let's take a moment to outline what we'll cover today. Our session is structured to provide a comprehensive overview of Azure's core services with a strong emphasis on practical application. First, we'll dive into Azure Compute Services. These services provide the scalable on-demand computing resources that power your applications and workloads. We'll explore the various options available from virtual machines Part-2 app services and Kubernetes, and discuss how to choose the right service for your needs. Next, we'll move on to Azure networking. Effective networking is the backbone of any cloud strategy, and Azure offers a robust suite of tools to ensure secure, reliable, and high performance connectivity. We'll discuss best practices for configuring virtual network security groups, and load balancers, and see how these elements work together to create a resilient network infrastructure. After networking, we'll explore Azure storage services. Data is the lifeblood of modern business, and Azure provides powerful storage solutions that are both scalable and secure. We'll look at different storage options, including blob storage, file storage, and queue storage, and discuss how to leverage these services for efficient data management. Throughout this session, we will be incorporating practical demos to show you how to deploy, configure, and manage these services in real life time. These demos will give you a hands-on understanding of how to implement Azure solution in your own environment. Finally, we'll wrap up with a key takeaway from our Azure journey, summarizing the critical points and providing some actionable insights you can take back to your organization. So let's get started and dive into the world of Azure. Azure Compute Services are at the heart of Microsoft's cloud platform. They offer the flexibility and scalability needed to discuss the various virtual machine sizes, types, and pricing models, helping you choose the right option for your needs. Moving on to Azure App Services. This platform as a service offering is designed for rapid application development and deployment. With app services, you can quickly build, deploy, and scale web apps, mobile backends, and RESTful APIs in the preferred language, be it .NET, Java, Node.js, or Python. We'll explore how app services simplifies application management and support continuous integration and continuous delivery. Another critical component is the Azure Kubernetes service. As containerization becomes more popular, AKS provides a managed Kubernetes environment, allowing you to deploy, manage, and scale containerized applications using Kubernetes. We'll discuss the benefits of containerization, the challenges it addresses, and how AKS streamlines the process of managing containers in production. These services are powerful tools in the Azure toolbox. Together, they enable innovation, enhance productivity, and support a wide range of applications and workloads. Next, we'll move on to our first demo where I'll show you how to deploy a web app using Azure App Services. This demo will highlight the ease and speed up with which you can get applications up and running in Azure. Now let's dive into our create a resource session and then select app service and then choose the appropriate configuration settings. These settings include selecting the runtime stack region, and pricing tier, among others. I'll explore the significance of each setting and how it impacts the performance and cost of the web app. Once we once our app service is created, we all deploy a sample web application. This will give you a practical understanding of the deployment process and how Azure App Services simplifies the management of your application lifecycle. I'll also show you how to configure basic settings such as scaling options and deployment slots to optimize your app performance and reliability. After deploying the app, we'll take a look at some of the monitoring tools available in Azure. These tools provide real-time insights into your apparel's performance, allowing to quickly identify and address any issues. This demo is a great way to see Azure in action. By the end, you will all have a solid understanding of how to deploy and manage web applications using Azure App Services and how this platform can accelerate your development processes. To deploy a web app using Azure App Services, follow these steps. First one, create an Azure App Service plan. Click in the Azure portal, click on Create a Resource and select App Services. On that, click Create App Service page, fill in the required fields. Where subscription is, choose your Azure subscription and keep resource group as select as existing resource group or create a new one and enter a unique name for your app service. In publish session, choose code for code deployment or Docker containers. For containerized applications, we will use Docker. For runtime stack, select the stack that matches your application. For example, .NET, Node.js, and Python. For region session, select the region where you want to host your app. Then click Next and then App Service Plan. And in second, configure the App Service Plan. Here in Service Plan, choose an existing app service plan or create a new one. Where pricing tier, select the pricing tier based on your needs. For example, free, shared, or standard, and premium. The tier determines the resources allocated to your app. Then click Next and Deployment. And third, now deploy your web app. In Deployment Center, select a deployment method. You can deploy using either local git, where deploy directly from your local repository, and GitHub, link to the GitHub repository for your continuous deployment. Then Azure repos, connect to an Azure DevOps repository. FTP, deploy via FTP or FTPS. Local Git, deploy directly from a local Git repository. Bitbucket, link to a Bitbucket repository. Configure deployment. Follow the prompts to links you choose and source and configure deployments and settings. Then click Review plus Create and then Create. And fourth one, deploy code to your app service. If you choose local Git, you will need to configure Git on your local machine. Add the Azure remote repository to your local Git configurations. Push your code to Azure using Git push Azure master. Replace Azure with your remote name if different. For GitHub, Azure repos or Gitbucket set up for the continuous deployment pipeline. Connect your repository to the app service. Configure build and deployment settings if needed. Access your web app. After deployment, you can access your web app using the URL provided by Azure. Go to your Azure app service in the Azure portal and find the overview session to see the URL of the app. Open the URL of your browser to see the deployed web app. Monitoring and manage our app monitoring. Use the monitoring session in the Azure portal to view metrics, logs, and set up for alerts. And scaling. Adjust the scaling settings to handle more traffic by changing the app service plan tier on enabling auto scaling. In configurations, update application settings, connection strings, and other configurations under the configuration session. And finally, update and redeploy. To update your web app, make changes to your code and redeploy using a chosen deployment method. For continuous deployment setups, changed pushing, make changes to your code and redeploy using the chosen deployment method. For continuous deployment setups, change push it to the linked repository will automatically triggers deployment. These steps should guide you through deploying a web app with Azure App Services. If you need more details on any specific step or have any other queries, just let me know. Alright, understanding Azure networking speech. Networking is a fundamental aspect of any cloud infrastructure, and Azure provides a comprehensive suite of networking tools that ensures secure, reliable, and high performance connectivity. Let's start with virtual machines, virtual networks. VNets are the foundation of your Azure network architecture. They provide isolation and segmentation of your resources, allowing to securely connect Azure resources to each other, to the on-premises network, and to the internet. We'll all explore how to design and implement virtual networks, considering factors such as address space, subnetting, and peering. Another critical component is network security groups, also called as NSGs. NSGs are the first line of defense in Azure networking. They allow you to control inbound and outbound traffic to your resources at the network level. We'll discuss how to configure NSGs, create security rules, and apply them to your VNets and subnets to enhance the security of your Azure environment. We'll also look at the load balancers and application gateways. These tools are essential for ensuring high availability and scalability of your applications. Load balancers distribute incoming traffic across multiple resources, while application gateways provides advanced routing and security features for your web applications. We all delve into how these tools work, when to use them, and best practices for configuration. Azure's networking capabilities are designed to support even the most complex environments, ensuring that the applications and services are always accessible, secure, and performing at their best. In our next demo, we'll all be setting up and for configuring a virtual network so we can see these concepts in action. Now, creating and configuring a virtual network. Let's all move on to our second hands-on demo, creating and configuring a virtual network in Azure. In this demo, we'll start by creating a new virtual network. I'll guide you through the process of defining the address space, setting up subnets, and configuring the IP address ranges. This is the foundation of your network architecture in Azure, and getting it right is crucial for the security and performance of your resources. Next, we'll configure a network security group, aka NSG. I'll show you how to create security rules that control traffic flow into and out of your network. We'll discuss best practices for setting up NSGs, including how to prioritize and structure your rules to provide maximum security with minimal complexity. After configuring the NSG, we'll connect a virtual machine to our new virtual network. This step will illustrate how VNets provide secure, isolated environments for your virtual machines and other resources. We'll also discuss the benefits of network segmentation and how it can improve security and management in your Azure environment. Throughout the demo, I'll highlight key concepts and best practices to ensure you have a clear understanding of Azure networking. By the end of this session, you will be able to confidently create and configure virtual networks in Azure and understand how to apply these skills to your own projects. A demo, creating and configuring a virtual network. In this demo, we are going to create and configure a virtual network VNet in Azure. Virtual networks are the cornerstone of your network architecture in the cloud, as enabling secure and scalable connectivity for your Azure resources. We'll go through the process step by step, setting up the subnets, configuring IP addresses, and applying security measures. Step 1. Log on to Azure portal. Start by logging into your Azure account at portal.azure.com. The Azure portal is your gateway to managing Azure resources. It will provide a user-friendly interface for creating, configuring, and monitoring your cloud services. Step 2. Create a new virtual network. In the Azure portal, click on the Create a Resource button. In the search bar, type Virtual Network and select it from the drop-down. Click on the Create button to start the setup process. Creating a virtual network is the first step in establishing your network infrastructure in Azure. A VNet allows you to define your own private network in the cloud, where you can place your resources securely. Step 3. Configure the basics. In subscription section, select the appropriate subscription where VNet will be created. Choose an existing resource group or create a new one. Resource groups helps to organize and manage related resources. For name, enter a name for your VNet. And for region, select the region where you want the VNet to be deployed. The basic configuration setting determines where and under what conditions your VNet will operate. Choosing the right region is important for latency, compliance, and availability considerations. Step 4. Configure IP addresses. Under the IP addresses tab, you'll configure the address space and subnets. For address space, define the IP address range for your VNet using CIDR notation. For subnets, click on Add Subnet to create subnets within your VNet. Name your subnet and assign an IP range. The address space defines the range of IP addresses available in your network. Subnets further divide into space into smaller segments which can be used to isolate different workloads for better security management. Step 5. Configure security settings. Go to the Security tab to configure Network Security Groups, aka NSG. You can choose to associate an NSG with your subnets now or create one later. If creating now, select Create New and configure inbound and outbound security rules. Network security groups acts as virtual firewalls, controlling inbound and outbound traffic to your Azure resources. Configuring NSGs is crucial for protecting your network against unauthorized access. At step 6, review and create. After configuring all the settings, click on the Review plus Create button. Azure will be validating your configuration if everyone is correct. Click Create to deploy your virtual network. Step 7. Verify the virtual network. Once the VNet is created, navigate to the virtual network session in the Azure portal. Click on your newly created VNet to view its properties and ensure that the subnets and NSGs are configured correctly. Verifying the VNet ensures that your connection is correct and that all elements are functioning as expected. This step is essential to confirm that your network is ready to use. Step Step 8. Connect a virtual machine to a VNet. This is the very important step in this demo. Create a new virtual machine or select an existing one. During the virtual machine setup, under the Networking tab, choose your newly created VNet and assign the VM to one of the subnets. Complete the VM setup and deploy it. Connecting a VM to your VNet allows it to utilize the networking resources and security configurations. This setup demonstrates the practical applications of your VNet and how it can host and manage workloads. And in step 9, text connectivity. Once the VM is deployed, use tools like SSH or RDP to connect to it. Text connectivity between the VMs and other resources within the VNet to ensure the network configurations are functioning correctly. Testing connectivity confirms that your network is working as intended. It also helps identifying any misconfigurations in your NSGs or routing settings. This demo has shown you how to create and configure a virtual network in Azure, from defining address spaces and subnetting to secure your networks with NSGs. Virtual networks are essential for creating secure, scalable, and efficient network architecture in the cloud. By mastering these steps, you all will get on your way to building the robust Azure environment. This detailed walkthrough should provide a clear and comprehensive guide to create and configuring a virtual network in Azure, suitable for both beginners and those who are looking to refine their Azure networking skills. exploring Azure storage services. Data storage is a crit- critical component of any IT infrastructure, and Azure provides a range of storage solutions that are both scalable and secure. Let's explore some of the key storage services Azure has to offer. Azure Blob Storage is designed for storing large amount of unstructured data such as text or binary data. It's ideal for storing files, backups, and media content like images and videos. We'll discuss the different types of blob storages, block, append, and paste, and how to choose the right type of your data needs. Next, we have Azure File Storage, which provides fully managed file shares that are accessible via the server message block protocol. This service is perfect for scenarios where you need to share files between multiple users or applications. We'll cover how to create, manage file shares, and how to integrate them with your on-premises system. Azure Queue Storage is another essential service offering reliable messaging between application components. This is especially useful for decoupling and scaling applications as it allows different parts of your applications to communicate asynchronously. We'll explore how queue storage works and discuss common use cases. These storage solutions are designed to optimize data management, providing the scalability and flexibility needed to handle the ever-growing data demands of modern businesses. In the next demo, I'll be showing you how to work with Azure Blob Storage, including uploading and managing and securing your data. In this demo, working with Azure Blob Storage. For our final demo of the day, we'll be focusing on Azure Blob Storage. This demo will provide a hands-on look at how to manage unstructured data in Azure. We'll begin by creating a new storage account in the Azure portal. I'll explain the different configuration options, such as performance tiers and replication settings, and how they impact your storage account's performance and reliability. Next, we'll create a blob container within our storage account. I'll show you how to upload files to your container, manage your blobs, and organize your data effectively. This is where Azure Blob Storage capabilities really shine, as you'll see how easy it is to handle large volumes of data in secure and scalable manner. We'll also cover how to configure access policies to ensure your data is secure. This includes setting up shared access signature (SAS) to provide temporary access to your blobs and configuring lifecycle management policies to automatically manage your data based on rules you define. By the end of this demo, you'll have a solid understanding of how to leverage Azure Blob Storage for your data needs and how to integrate with your existing workflows. To work with Azure Blob Storage, follow these steps. Step 1. Create an Azure Storage account. Sign into Azure portal. Click on Create a resource and select Storage. Choose storage account and click create. Fill in the required details such as subscription, resource group, storage account name, region, and performance or replication options. Click review plus create and then create to deploy your storage account. Step 2. Create a blob container. Go to the newly created storage account in the Azure portal. In the data storage section, select containers. Click add container. Enter a name for the container and set the public access level, for example, private, blob, or container. Then click create. Step 3. Upper section in the storage account. Select the container where you want to upload data. Click upload and choose the files you want to upload. Optionally, set any additional options like blob type, for example, blob, append blob, page blob. Then click upload to start the process. Access blob data. You can access blobs using the Azure portal, Azure Storage Explorer, or programmatically via SDK or REST API. Azure Storage Explorer. Download and install the tool. Then connect it to your Azure account and navigate to the storage account to view and manage blobs. Programmatically use Azure SDKs or REST API to access and manipulate blobs data. For example, in C Sharp, you might use the Azure storage blob packages. Step 5. Manage blob data. Delete blob. Navigate to the blob in the Azure portal or use the code to delete it. List blobs. Use Azure portal, Storage Explorer, or API to list blobs in a container. Download blob. From the Azure portal, select the blob and click the download page. Step 6. Configure security and access control. Shared access signatures (SAS). This generate SAS token to provide limited access to your blob data. Azure Active Directory (AAD). Use AAD for more secure role-based access control. Step 7. Monitor and analyze. Use the monitoring session in the Azure portal to view metrics and logs for your storage account. Set up alerts for important events and thresholds. Key takeaway from our Azure journey. As we come to the end of our Azure journey today, let's take a moment to recap the key takeaways. Began by exploring Azure Component Services, where we discussed the flexibility and scalability offered by virtual machines, app services, and Kubernetes. These services are the backbone of any cloud infrastructure, providing the resources needed to power your application and workloads. We then delved into Azure networking, highlighting the importance of Azure networks, network security groups, and load balancers. These tools ensures that your applications are securely connected, are highly available, providing the reliability that modern businesses demand. Our exploration of Azure storage services showed us how Azure storage solutions can help you manage and secure your data, whether it's unstructured blobs, shared files, or messages between application components. Azure storage offering provide the scalability and flexibility needed to handle today's data challenges. Through our practical demos, we saw these services in action, giving you a hands-on understanding of how to deploy and manage resources in Azure. These skills are crucial for building a robust and efficient cloud strategy, and I hope you now feel more confident in your availability and ability to leverage Azure for your own projects. Remember, Azure is not just a set of tools, it's a platform that can drive, innovate, and transform your business. As you continue to explore and work with Azure, you will discover new ways to enhance new operations and deliver value to your organization. The future of technology is here, and Azure is at the forefront of it. Are you ready to embrace it? From compute services to network solutions and data storage, we covered essentials tools. Understanding these components is crucial for building a robust cloud strategy. Embrace Azure to drive innovate and efficiency within your organization. The future of technology is here. Are you ready to leverage it? Thank you for joining me today on this deep dive into Azure infrastructure and networking. It's been a pleasure guiding you through the powerful features and capabilities of Azure, and I hope you'll found this session both informative and inspiring. Azure offers a world of possibilities, and today we have only scratched the surface. Whether you're just started out or looking to deepen your expertise, Azure has the tools and resources to help you succeed. If you have any questions or need any further clarification on any of these topics we covered, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm here to help you on your Azure journey. Together, let's build a brighter, more connected future with Azure. Your journey in cloud technologies starts now, and I'm excited to see where it takes you. Thank you once again, and I look forward to see the incredible things you'll accomplish with Azure. Thank you.